Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to today's bonus upload. Before we get into it, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, and my merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. The links to Patreon and PayPal are in the description below. My merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters Volume 1, 2, and 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeffrey Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, the links to which are also in the description as well. Finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe, click the like button, and please leave a comment. It really does help, and it matters. And now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's get on with today's bonus, shall we? So today's bonus, I've got a couple of crawler videos that I'd like to show you. Also, I had been thinking about something while looking into these crawler cases. I remembered a couple of years ago, there was a post made about a crawler spotted in Lake George, New York. And Lake George, New York is the beginning part of the Adirondack State Park. This creature was spotted on a rock by two kids, and the moms didn't see it, but they did. The kid was, I believe they were like 11, and it freaked them out. They've since like named the rock monster, or Monster Rock, or something like that. Yeah, Monster Rock. And I've been thinking about the whole Tom Mezek thing. And I really don't think that he was abducted or killed or whatever by a Dogman or a Bigfoot or whatever. I think possibly a crawler took him underground. And that's why we're not finding anything of any articles of clothing, any rifles, walkies, anything. And it makes sense because in the Adirondacks, just like any kind of state park where there's mountains and rocks and this and that, there are caverns. When I went up there and did that video, I walked by one of those kind of rock caverns, and it'd be very easy for something like a crawler to go into one of those. Now, if Mezek was dead, it would be easy to pull him into it. You wouldn't have to worry about, a human being crawling into a small cavern is going to be hard. You've got bones and this and that, but if he's dead, that crawler's just going to pull him right in, and the body will contort unnaturally to go into that hole. So I've been thinking a lot about that, and I think that's what possibly might have happened to Tom. It's crazy. We're coming up on 7 years in November, and I don't know. I really don't know what to think about it. But a couple of these videos, I found the whole video of where the kids were showing off their fort, and that creature came running up the hill. And then there's another one where there's a couple of guys driving down the road. Two different locations, two different people, and these things look identical. Long arms moving very rapidly. And it's scary. These things are scary. I used to think that the Dogman was scarier than Bigfoot and so on and so forth, but these crawler things are just, I really don't think we're getting a lot of encounters shared with us, because if you see it, I don't think you have the chance of getting back out of it, There's one video that I'm going to show that this kid walks up and this crawler is on the tree, and it is an absolute nightmare of a video. These things are just hideous. And I don't know. I'm thankful I never seen one. I hope I don't see one. And if I do, I'm definitely going to put some Fort Scott munitions into that son of a gun. And if you guys don't know what Fort Scott munitions is, check it out. It is some of the greatest maximum impact rounds you can get. They took out a black bear with a 9mm long rifle. Took out a boar with a 9mm long rifle. Mag dumped a 9mm pistol and penetrated 2A body armor. Best ammo they have out there. That's what I have in my magazine. So, I'm going to share an encounter, then I'm going to share some videos, and then we'll move on to whatnot. This experience took place 4 years ago. Since learning of cryptids, in particular the crawler, I've always been fascinated by them. Back in the day, one of my best friends, Robert, would come over for sleepovers. I introduced him to crawlers. We always watched horror movies or videos of bizarre encounters, as we loved frightening ourselves before venturing into the local woods. I basically lived a 2-minute walk away from the woods. Till that night trip, we had never encountered anything really creepy when venturing into the woods. Sometimes Robert would stand really still in the silence in hopes of hearing something exciting, an animal walking over some sticks, creating sounds, etc. In order for you better understand my thoughts later on, I will give you a detailed explanation of our path. It was after midnight when we headed out. Shortly after entering the forest, there is a small crossing with a left path and a right path. We took the right, walking up a hill for about a quarter of an hour. After that, we were just pretty much followed the path, reaching the peak of the hill and venturing down again for about 10 minutes. We reached another crossing. The left path would lead us to another exit, whereas the straight path would let us continue walking on to another hill. About a half an hour going up the hill, I told Robert I wanted to go home as I started to get cold and tired. Furthermore, I told him that I didn't see us witnessing anything exciting that night. Robert was disappointed, but nonetheless agreed. Robert wanted us to regularly stop speaking and just be completely silent so we could hear everything surrounding us. We also flashed our lights in the woods regularly. This is where it gets a little creepy. As we started to head down the second hill, we started to relax and talk about other interests. As my back then shrimp posture obliged me to, I more or less only looked at my feet when walking. As we reached the second crosswalk again, Robert suddenly scoured up. In panic, he asked me whether I saw something run through the woods, coming from the right path, former left path, to the path we originally came from. As I've already mentioned, I look at my feet when I was walking down the path, meaning I could not see anything. However, I believe that Robert just wanted to build up suspension, as he liked to do that when nothing happened on our trips. So I didn't really believe him in that. He started throwing rocks in the area where he said he saw the figurehead. We stood still for a couple of more minutes, listening for any suspicious sounds, but the forest was totally silent. Realizing this, it made me somewhat more uncomfortable. On our way back to the second crossing to the first, we started to ease back down again and started talking normally. The walk back also took a half an hour. This is where it gets really creepy. As we were about to reach the first crossing, I used my flashlight on the trees that were not too far in front of us. As I pointed my light on them, I noticed that there were 2 yellow dots right beside this large tree. As we came closer, I could see it more clearly. These were not just yellow dots. I started to recognize a bald head with these 2 yellow glowing eyes. I told Robert to stand still. I pointed him to the area where this thing was peeking from the tree. I was furious at him because he couldn't see it. I told him that he needed to focus on the yellow orbs. When he recognized it, he was freaked out as well. I freaked out even more when I thought about our situation. This creature stood between the only near entrance or exit out of this forest and us. We really started to panic as we didn't know what to do. As Robert also started to flash on the creature, we both more or less shouted at ourselves. The creature went behind the tree and peeked from the other side. As we followed with our lights, it stepped back from the tree. I was able to see more of its body. It was whitish gray, hunched over with arms hanging down. It slowly walked away from the crossing, moving one leg, then another one. We stood on the spot for a few seconds. Then we carefully started to peek in the area where it vanished. I couldn't see it anymore. I told Robert to run for his life, and boy, oh boy, Usain Bolt would have been astonished at our speed in that run. We ran through the exit and back home. It was the scariest experience of my life. What I really find so intriguing about this encounter is this creature either followed or stalked us very quietly through the woods for a half an hour, since Robert had spotted it on the second crossing, till the exit, or it was smart enough to recognize where the path we took would lead us to. As we first saw it at the second crossing, and then in front of us at the exit, it was also able to recognize pretty fast that we had spotted it. I think by switching sides at the tree when peeking, it wanted to confirm to itself whether we spotted it by seeing us rotate our flashlight to the other side of the tree. Mind you, these were bad flashlights whose light only performed worse over the range. Last, but definitely not least, I don't think this thing was scared in the slightest. Even as I and Robert started to speak more loudly in a stressed voice, it just calmly started to walk away. The body was a whitish, grayish color. Its head looked bald with long arms, hunched body posture. Its arms hung low. It must have been 2 meters tall, rather slim body. To give you a better reference, I believe the creature shown in this video fits the description of the creature I saw. That video that we just saw is one of the very first videos I saw of a crawler, or what people call the rake, which I absolutely despise that name. But that video freaked me out terribly. I think the next video I saw of these kind of creatures was then a video where a group of Russian men were walking through an abandoned city or something and looked down into what appeared to be an old well and saw one looking back up at them. These things are absolutely terrifying. I think what they may be, and I've been thinking about them. I've read a couple things. One person, his theory was they were evolved humans. Well, if that is human evolution, I don't want to evolve. I think it's something far worse. I believe possibly these things might have come from Nightmare Hall in Dulce or other government slash alien laboratories. These things are very fast. Their long arms give them more of a sense of balance, I believe, when they're running. Great strength for being so slender. They're just terrifying. They're terrifying. The next two videos are going to be kind of a comparison. The first one is a group of guys are in a truck driving, and they see one of these crawler creatures running out of a field. Mind you, these are two different videos, two different people, two different times, two different areas, and they look almost identical. So here's the first video with the guys in the truck.
I thought I seen a big buck or something. Wait, stop right there. What is that? Is that a buck?
What is that?
Dude, that's not a buck, dude. That's not. Dude, go. Get out. I thought I seen a big buck or something. Wait, stop right there. What is that? Is that a buck?
What is that?
Dude, that's not a buck, dude. That's not. Dude, go. Get out.
And the next is the boys, or a group of boys, by their fort. And this thing comes running up the hill at them. Look at the arms. Look at the legs. Look at the color. Almost identical to what the guys in the truck saw.
I wanted to show you guys my cool base that I made a while ago with my cousin. It's really nice. See, we got the entrance all fenced off. Got this thing, I don't know what it is. Oh. Well, that stinks. But yeah, we got some chairs. What was that? Is that a cow? What is that? Oh, frick! Hey guys, I just wanted to show you guys my cool base that I made a while ago with my cousin. It's really nice. See, we got the entrance all fenced off. Got this thing, I don't know what it is. Oh. Well, that stinks. But yeah, we got some chairs. What was that? Is that a cow? What is that? Oh, frick!
So, as you can see, they are almost the identical creature. Now, when someone sees these videos, they're probably like, oh my God, it's CGI, it's fake, it's this, it's that. Well, explain to me how the same looking identical creature can be in two different areas, two different people, two different times. It makes absolutely no sense unless these things truly exist, which I believe they do, and a lot of you do as well. I think these things are Now, some people may argue this because they're obsessed with the belief that these creepypastas are real. There have been numerous occasions that people have seen similar creatures like this throughout history. But I believe what we are seeing nowadays is just recent. These things are some sort of escaped creature from these military labs, mill labs. Excuse me. Who's to say that when the Battle of Dulce happened, that a couple of these things didn't escape? Who's to say the government or the secret government or whatever, NWO, Alien, aren't letting these things out? Who's to say they're not coming from a rift portal? Someone asked me what a rift portal was recently. A rift portal is a large portal that just tears a hole in our fabric of time. Steph had a great explanation of what they are. I'm going to have Steph come back soon and talk about that. But these things are not... I don't believe they are biologically of this planet. I don't believe they are. I believe they were created in some laboratory or they are from a different dimension. I've been reading a little bit about multiple dimensions, and a lot of scientists are really on board with it. It's it's an interesting subject. It's a terrifying subject because we really don't know what is over there. You know, who's to say that next dimension over is like ours but better, or like ours but worse, with monsters and whatever. And I don't just mean monsters, I mean monsters like real friggin' monsters, creatures that just are what nightmares are made of. You know, there's a reason why our brains produce these pictures of these creatures when we, something that doesn't exist on this planet. But our brain can produce that, Lovecraft. He might have been able to see into the alternate dimensions, listening to Rogan the other day, Joe, talking about hallucinogenic openings, being able to see. Now, I'm no angel, and when I was younger, I partook in some hallucinogenic experimentation. Not some, multiple times. LSD, peyote, mescaline, and I saw some pretty strange things. I believe that is maybe a window to what is just on the other side. But these things are real. They're here, and we need to be aware that they're here. And why they might be here. The government might have released these things to combat Dogman and Bigfoot. We don't know. Or they might have escaped. But that's a question for you guys to answer yourselves in your brains. And remember, it's theory. Theory is theory. Until we have concrete evidence, 100% proof of why these things are here and what they are doing, it's then just theory. So no need to argue over it. Everyone's theory is valid. And with that, I hope you enjoyed tonight's bonus. May the Great Spirit be with you, and may He watch over us and guide us down that path that we call life.